Hi guys, it's Temi with YellowSparksJoy. Welcome to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to be talking about the Coach Fall 2023 fashion show that we saw at the just concluded New York Fashion Week. So I'm going to be talking about the entire ambience of the show, so the music, the venue, and then we're going to get down into the actual clothes and of course the handbags that we saw on the runway. After all of that, I'm going to give you guys my opinion about the entire collection and what we should expect from Coach later in the fall this year. Now, let me just say that I am not a fashion expert. I do not work in the industry. I am simply someone who loves the brand, loves fashion. I like to style myself. I also like talking about handbags, lifestyle, and fashion. And so these are my personal opinions based off of my personal style and my relationship with the brand for the past couple of years. Okay, so let's start with the ambience and the vibe of the show as a whole. The show was once again held at the Park Avenue Armory, which in itself is a very structural, old school type building and location. Now, it's not the first time that Coach has held their runway show there, but they've usually dressed it up a bit, if I could use those words. This time, however, it was very stripped back to the bare minimum. There was no artistic anything when it came to the venue and the ambience of the venue. It was just the runway, and then you had the chairs for guests by the side, and that was it. Perhaps that was the type of look they were going for, but I felt like, I mean, it's a runway show. I know there are some shows that are over the top. Coach shows are not over the top. They're never over the top, but I think they're just the right amount of artistic, as well as showing us the actual pieces. So they're the nice mix of artistic and presentation of the pieces that we're to expect. Whereas some other shows are over the top artistic and the pieces that they have to show us fade into the background. In this instance, all we saw was, it was like, this is what we're giving you, here you go, bye-bye. And I'm like, you might as well just have put up like racks in your boutiques and asked us to come and look at it, because what was the whole point of having a runway show? I'm not really sure what the theme was, but they were kind of leaning towards a 90s grunge and 70s punk kind of style, very Americana, but still infused with a lot of leather, a lot of denim, which is typical Coach. But I personally didn't think that the venue and the lighting and the mood reflected that at all. It did not. It was just like, we're not even going to try. Maybe there was a budget cut. I don't know. If it was intentional, then I was very, very disappointed. Same thing with the music. I really don't have any problem with the music. But if you are going to be more minimalistic with the decor and the set design, I feel like maybe the music should have been a bit more than it was to help balance it out. But it wasn't at all. Okay, now let's talk about the actual pieces that we saw on the runway. So like I said before, there was a lot of leather, there was a lot of denim, which is classic Coach. Because it is classic Coach, I would expect to see those pieces in the stores. I mean, what we see on the runway is just a snippet of what is going to be released that season anyway. So we know that Coach is going to release leather pieces. We know that they're going to release denim pieces come fall 2023. It's something they do every season. It's part of their brand. Why do you have to show me that on the runway? On the runway, I expect your best of the best pieces. I expect artistic pieces, not the regular pieces we see season after season at the boutique, at the store. I loved it, don't get me wrong. I loved the leather jackets. They were like oversized leather jackets with some were shelling lined, you know, really grungy, really, really nice. But I do not expect you to show me that on the runway. Like, it was just too plain, too simple for it to be runway worthy. I felt the same way again about the denim, except this time I'm happy that Coach is on trend. Usually they're like a season behind with trend, so I'm happy that they're on trend with their denim pieces this for fall 2023. I'm happy that we're still going to be seeing maxi skirts in fall 2023. This was a trend that started in fall of last year. Since I'm planning to participate in the trend, I'm happy to see that that trend is going to carry on into the end of the year and maybe even into next year as well. So at least I know that investing in the trend is going to be long-term for me. So that's a good thing. I was happy to see that. I was happy to see that not only did they hit the denim trend and the maxi skirts trend, they also hit the metallic trend, which is I've seen a lot of other designers do for fall 2023. So I'm really happy that they are hitting the mark this year on trends. Now, let's get into the bags. The main bag of the show for me, or the one bag that kind of carried throughout all the looks that we saw on the runway, was a shoulder bag. So it was a curved baguette style bag, very similar to their swinger or the Nolita from the outlets, that kind of shape, except the shoulder strap was a little bit longer. And we saw this one in like a shiny finish, patent finish, debossed print. It looked like it had 3 compartments and it came in about 3 different dark colors. I know definitely that there'll be more that will actually be released in the fall 2023, but for shoulder bags, this is the main one that we saw. I do not see this bag as anything extraordinarily different from what Coach has done in the past. As far as I'm concerned, it looks like an outlet bag. There are currently bags on the Coach outlet websites that have very similar debossing on them. I know that when we see them in person eventually, the feel and the touch is definitely going to feel like retail quality, I hope. Again, it boils down to personal preference. And so that's why I think that for what maybe I had huge expectations, and this did not just meet those expectations. Next, let's talk about the novelty bags that we saw on the runway. Now, Coach is not new to making novelty bags. Last one that we saw was released were the heart bags, the coated hat bags, the signature C hat bags, very beautiful. So for fall 2023, they're telling us to expect a whole lot more of novelty bags. And novelty bags are not really a Coach thing. They throw them in here and there, which is great, but they don't like do them a whole lot. Like when I think of novelty bags, I think of Karl Lagerfeld era Chanel. I think of Kate Spade, their sister company, part of the Tapestry brand. Not typically Coach. But the novelty bags we saw on the runway for fall 2023, there was a lot. So we saw Rexy, we saw an apple, a star, a crescent-shaped moon. We saw a 4-leaf clover, a bone. Oh my goodness. We saw lips, we saw a heart. So it was all different shapes. And they were in that same shiny, debossed type leather with 2 top handles. You would think that the performance of collections such as the Tom Wesselman collection would teach them something about what their clientele wants, but it doesn't look like they've learned their lesson at all. I mean, lips in that type of material, top handle, that size. There's a market for novelty bags, don't get me wrong. But again, when I want a novelty bag, I look to Kate Spade. Kate Spade, now the way Kate Spade does their bags, it's fun, it's airy, it's playful, it's light, it makes you feel like you're a child again. When I saw these Coach novelty bags, I didn't feel like that at all. I did not feel like, I know there are people like on my Instagram, I posted about this on my Instagram. I did some polls, I got some great feedback. So I definitely know that there's some people out there that love them. I know a lot of people love the heart one, the apple one. The Rexy one is huge among the Coach crowd because of Rexy. There was a fish one, people. A fish bag. And I can just imagine Kate Spade putting their spin on that and how I'll be. Did you guys see the Kate Spade cloud bag from their recent fashion show? You know what? I think I'm going to do a commentary on the Kate Spade Fall 2023 fashion show. So make sure you're subscribed to my channel. Hit the tiny notification bell beside the subscribe button so you can get notified when that video goes live. Now, like I was saying, I know that there's a market for novelty bags and a lot of people really appreciate these bags. However, functionality-wise, they're not going to be very functional. They're small-sized, if not mini-sized bags. The top handle takes away from whatever accessibility you would have otherwise been able to get from those bags. And I feel like they would have been better presented to the public if they were integrated in other collections. So not brought out as a single collection on their own, but integrated with several different other collections. For example, you bring out the heart version during Valentine's period. You bring out the bone version with the Scooby-Doo collection we saw last year, you know? Like, bring them out with other relevant collections here and there, and then people look forward to it. People are like, oh, what novelty bag is going to come out with this collection? What novelty bag are we going to see with that collection? Not all together like this. And again, not all of these bags may make it to production eventually in the fall, so we can only wait. And next, and final bag that we saw was the big huge leather bag. Now, I loved the look of this bag, the natural grain leather, how it looked so worn and patinaed, really big, really huge. And again on trend, because we're seeing a lot of big bags on the runway coming for later this year. Now, what I think was runway worthy was the way they styled these big bags. They did it like a double bag styling. So the models had the bigger bag and then they had the small top handle novelty totes together in one hand, and they walked down the runway. I really liked that. I like the concept. It's very similar to carrying a micro bag crossbody and then carrying your larger tote with you. So I liked the styling of it. Again, very trendy, very fashion forward, very street style chic. Is it a trend that I am looking forward to participating in? Probably, but not with the bags that were shown on the runway, if that makes any sense. Like I would wear two bags in a similar fashion, but not those two particular bags that Coach had styled like that on the runway. And so those are my thoughts and opinions about the Coach Fall 2023 runway show. Let me know what you're most looking forward to in Fall 2023 from the Coach runway show. And if you want to see all of the things that Coach has released already this year, then you want to check out this video that I put together showing all the new items at the Coach boutique. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in this one. Bye.